Hello, welcome to Line War. Today we have HOnu versus Romad Quantum Scientist. I do like a bit of quantum science myself. And in this match, it looks like HOnu has crossed the water with 3 territories, leaving him with only 2 groups on his north medium-sized island and 1 group on this massive island down here, which has a lot of eco in. There is another small, well, medium-sized island down here, which has a bit of eco and energy in it, but I'm going to assume that Romad Quantum Scientist started over here somewhere, and he's gone straight into naval because he wants to colonize these islands as well, by the looks of it. He's gone for air and energy, and subpen and a naval yard, whereas HOnu has gone for a factory and a barracks, and a factory and a barracks on both islands. He wants to secure his position up in the north. However, he doesn't seem to be dedicating maybe not enough resources down here. This is obviously where most of the economy is and the likely starting place of his enemy. So I would have probably put more pressure here and only barracks up here. If I was to do these units, maybe just SAM to see in case of air units later on, but I probably wouldn't be using that yet. I'll be just trying to expand as fast as I could. Maybe get a naval yard down here, take over the other island, get the eco going, because territory does equal eco. The faster you get that territory, the faster you can get your eco going. But down here is where you definitely want your artillery. At least at the beginning of the game, anyway. He's going for more barracks. He is trying to expand. And that is generally what barracks are used for at the beginning of the game, to get some more territory quicker. Now, although he had less units to start with on the ground, Romad Quantum Scientist has more and can expand faster, but he isn't going for any ground units. He has only dedicated energy and some naval units and a bit of air, so he isn't actually gaining any more units on the ground. And at the minute, it just looks like he's trying to store some energy. He thinks he's going to need a lot of energy in this game, so he's going to store some up ready for later. And when that's built, he'll be able to expand what he's already got, so I probably wouldn't build storage at the beginning because you're already over capacity because of your initial starting amount that you get. I suppose that's free, so maybe it will grow higher. I'm not sure exactly. But I am going to speed this up towards the engagement. So we'll go in ×4 just to sort of see how it progresses. He has gone for his naval yard over here. It looks like that is either a destroyer or missile ship. Yeah, it's a missile ship, I'm pretty sure. And down here we can see that HOnu has noticed the enemy's missile ship. Or destroyer, sorry, that's a destroyer. Who is trying to take the territory in the ocean, which is also good for eco. But that's going to be one of his starting territory, but luckily not one of the important ones. These two are more important with the energy wells. But I don't know if he's going to easily be able to defend from this. It does look like there was a landing up there. The strikers are coming in. I'm going to slow this down now. Back to normal speed. So we have the strikers trying to take advantage up there with that, but it does look like the SAMs are going to be able to defend against that quite easily. So that striker's going to go down. There hasn't been a ground engagement yet, probably because Romad Quantum Scientist didn't start with any ground-based production. He still doesn't have it. Oh, he does. One up in the north. That is purely there for expanding by the looks of it. And I don't know if he spotted this. Yes, he has, because he can see the blue territory. So at this point, I'd definitely be trying to focus some factories around this area to try and protect it, or maybe even here if you can. Trying to get this mountain ridge a bit easier to defend. It looks like these naval battles are going to try and be a defense on HOnu's naval yard. And I don't think those missile ships are going to be able to defend against it. Is that a missile ship and a destroyer? It's just a missile ship now. So he's got submarines and that, so he's going to lose this, I think. Unless this artillery can defend it well enough for the long term. But at the same time, HOnu has his units coming through this way, and they're probably going to be quite easily able to take this out. So that might be quite an even trade in the long run, but Romad Quantum Scientist will have control of the ocean for a while. He's nearly finished expanding up here. Going to move over there and then come down, or he's going to use these units to go up. But he still is quite exposed down here. So let's have a look at HOnu's progression. Yeah, he's about to get there. You can see the naval yard, and he's got his units moving on the arrow commands, which means they're not going to take over the territory. They're just going to move now, which is a good idea. He wants to get there fast before Romad Quantum Scientist can... I'm just going to call him Romad. Before Romad can react to this, and he can see the units now, so let's see what he does. Over here, he was successful at destroying that, and it looks like HOnu will control that island still, but that will hinder his progress at the ocean. It looks like he's built a mixture of strikers and helicopters, and he certainly has the energy to control them. He's got probably far too much energy at this point, but if he was expecting a large naval battle, that would definitely be a very wise thing to invest in. And those units are going to fly straight over trying to take these out. I don't think they're going to be able to do enough damage quick enough, but helicopters do unload their missiles really fast. So if anything can do it, those helicopters can. But it wasn't good enough. That naval yard is down, and the sub-pen's going to be next. And does HOnu have any SAM units around? No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like he's invested in SAM. Oh yeah, just there. He's got 3 units there, moving in slowly towards there. He has built an energy well. That was probably for his naval fleet he's not using anymore. And he's trying to take this territory. I would not be doing that. I would be definitely trying to strike this. He can see it. I was just on there, yeah. So he can see this airfield. I would be trying to take that out as fast as possible. Straight there with the artillery. There with the infantry. And I'd try and move him afterwards. But he does have 1 unit there trying to take it out. Good job. He's trying to use the stealth. He's trying to go through here so that the helicopters and strikers can't see him, even if the fog of war reveals them. But I do think there's enough units there to reveal the stealth either way, and he reveals himself anyway because this territory is being claimed. The naval fleet's moving out. He's got more than enough energy to move these guys around anywhere he wants right now. So he's doing pretty good. He's nearly claimed up north completely. He's missed this 1 territory here though, and there. But he does have the important spots. That 1 unit there is going to destroy that because those helicopters and strikers are targeting here by the looks of it. Is he going to get hit? No, those strikers are circling around. They're not going to actually get him. I wonder if that 1 infantry unit is going to take that whole airfield out. And it looks like Romad is very confident in holding this area because he's built eco down here. He's gone for this one as well, and maybe we'll go for that one soon. But he really wants to boost his eco for later on in the game. He thinks his air unit's going to be more than enough to hold this off. That's on fire. He's got a commando there. He's noticed these units coming down, so... He sees 1 retreating, so he's going to try and go for it, I think. Taking that out would be a good thing for HOnu to do. But that unit did go down in the end. He wasn't able to do it, unfortunately. He's trying to build in the forest. That keeps him stealthed and hidden, so that it'll be harder for Romad to actually take it away from him. And over here, he's pretty much colonized this entire island. And he'll have this one to do next, but he didn't manage to save his transport ship. That would have been a very good thing to try and save if he could have. Actually, he didn't use one, did he? So that's why he doesn't have it. Let's look at the eco. So he's just lost his energy storage. HOnu has 650 eco right now, and he's mostly expanding for that. Romad has 945, but that's because of his eco and his expanse up in the north. See, if I was Romad, I'd have built up here. I've just noticed he's got that, but or up here. To be fair, that was probably a dangerous place to go, but still, I'm not sure. I probably wouldn't have built down here. That seems too vulnerable for me to trust. And it looks like he's applying pressure here. These units are going to have trouble trying to deal with this. Because he doesn't normally is there. He probably does. There aren't too many hidden through stealth there. But this line of forest is actually very strategically advantageous for HOnu because it leads straight to the airfield. And if he could just get some commandos to sneak through here and go that way, or Maybe even go around the mountain into this forest, and there he might be able to get that energy well as well, to stop him to literally ground his air force. Which Romad is struggling to maintain as it is, because although he had a great energy economy at first, he doesn't anymore, and he has quite a few ships lying around. It looks like he's put them there to try and stop him from gaining access to this island, or at least monitor his progression, hoping he builds a docks so that he can destroy it straight away. These units down here are trying to push through the forest. And that's what I mean, it's too vulnerable of an area. Those not strikers, the commandos, I assume they are. Yep, he snuck a few commandos in, and they are definitely worth their value when it comes to stealth. Romad is genuinely trying to chase them down, but he just doesn't know exactly where they are. I mean, right now he can see his buildings getting damaged, so let's have a look at his view. You can see it's getting damaged, but you can't see the commandos, which makes it very difficult to track him down. HOnu looks like he's going to try and do a bit of a scout this way, sending a unit there. But it does surprise me that Romad still hasn't managed to build any factories. He's still going barracks, airfields and navy, despite seeing the commandos and the ground force. I'd either be building more air force or some artillery to go against his ground forces, because you have quite a few lines. Like, here's a good place to have artillery because units move slower on mountains, giving the artillery more time to fire. And you got some mountains here again to push forward against. So this positioning would be great for an artillery push. But instead, it's going into the favour of HOnu, who is actually using the artillery. And he's built another airfield down here. I say another, he's built his first airfield down there, I think. Yep. He may have forgotten about these units here, he's just left them there, but it's probably because of the intense fight. But this could be claimed faster if he was able to focus on that too. HOnu is doing very great at utilising small amounts of units to their maximum damage potential. But he does need to try and find a force big enough to try and push back. And Romad, to be fair, even though I'm saying he should build factories, he's now done it. But he hasn't used factories yet, and he's been able to hold back HOnu a lot throughout this entire match. He's done really well at defending himself with what he has. He's also done well at claiming the territory in the sea, which is going to boost his economy as well as the economic progress he tried to make earlier. Which HOnu, I've only just noticed how far down this map goes. I thought this was the bottom, but it's not. So HOnu has also managed to expand down here. He's built a bit of economy, and he's tried to build... Not HOnu, Romad, sorry. He's tried to build some production structures there. But he is trying to take out these commandos, which he has successfully done. So HOnu may actually be in a bit of a tricky position because he isn't able to dedicate enough forces to the frontline assaults. But he has a lot of forces over here that could have been used on this area. I can understand why he's doing it. He's put them there and there, which is great places to defend. And he's nearly claimed this entire land over here, but he's still forgotten about those units in the north. And the striker is doing a fair amount of damage to these, but he has revealed that he's got a striker with just one striker. It's usually best to let them build up a bit before you use them, because it only means that he's going to start using his anti-air or start producing anti-air sooner, taking away that element of surprise. Looks like HOnu is still messing around with commandos, and he snuck a few through. Yeah, he's got one there. I can see him just through that flame, and he had one here too. And he is hitting hard against Romad's energy, and that is really going to hurt him, especially since he's only going to have one of these to yield his navy and his air force around. What is HOnu? What is Romad looking at? He's trying to make sure these commandos don't break through in the bottom here. And he's trying to send some units up through the north. And it looks like that the balance of the ground fight is dependent on the air force that's supporting it. So this game's going to be pretty much whoever uses their air force the best. Or whoever reacts on ground the best. And I think HOnu has a great composition of units. He's got enough SAM there to take out strikers in small amounts, which is all that's available at the minute. Strikers are pulling back, and if he tries to push through here, these SAM units will take out the strikers before they can actually do anything. And at that point, there'll be no air superiority, I think. But he is definitely using the terrain to his advantage. He's really trying to keep his units hidden. And he's done a great job with the commandos so far. Is there another commando up there? No, there isn't. He managed to kill it. Has there been any other battles over here? No, I'd probably turn these productions off so you can have more money to spend elsewhere. And he's finally realised these units are around. They're still trying to colonize this map, which is still giving HOnu an increased production, well, an increased economy. So I'm still not sure who's winning here, because Romad has pretty much reached his potential on economy, except for through buildings, but they keep getting destroyed by the commandos. So he's pretty much reached his potential, and HOnu is still expanding both here and on this island here, and there's still this territory to grab, which pretty much HOnu controls. So all HOnu has to do is really hold out, because time's on his side now. And those strikers are getting taken down by the SAM that are defending this energy well. I wonder what Romad can see here. You can't see the energy production by the looks of it. He just knows there's an energy well there, but it's in the forest, so you can't see it very well. I would also probably stop production of these submarines, because he has stopped it over here. Purely because he does control the sea now. And it's just these strikers now that are defending this little area down here, but this looks like HOnu is pushing forward with his units, trying to take the original location of Romad. I do feel like soon there's going to be a lot of heavy production coming this way. So we got a lot of units coming back up from here that were capturing territory, but now they've finished their job. They're coming all the way down here to support this fight. And that is a lot of units to back up this front line. I've just pointed out as well, I've been complimenting HOnu for his use of the terrain, but it looks like Romad has also been using the terrain to keep his units stealthed. He is going into the forest here and then curving around it. He's using the terrain to try and keep his units hidden away so they can't be spotted on the route towards the base, and giving him less time to react. Ah, so there's some submarine action going on over there. Can't see what's going on both sides. He's got so many submarines he can detect his one, but it looks like Romad cannot detect the other submarines because he's only got one or two. He had two, he's got one now. So this submarine's got nothing to fire against. And he's just going to go get destroyed. Right, and the units here are about to enter the battlefield over here against this artillery, and the strikers coming in to support. I feel like Romad needs to put some more money into SAM units here, because those strikers are pretty much getting free hits and they're being unchallenged. But Romad is hitting at multiple different angles here, which is going to put a lot of pressure on HOnu. I don't know if HOnu is going to be able to keep the pressure up in this area, especially as I don't think he's got the numbers to do so. But while this battle's happening, HOnu has been building up his submarines to be able to take out Romad's navy fleet. And for now, it seems to be working. It looks like he's got a transport boat building up here. He's going to try and send some units across there. So that is a good use of those. There'll be a good reinforcement in the north, which will be now unexpected, because Romad, has moved his units away from there to help down here. So it kind of feels like HOnu doesn't need to actually push here, he just needs to defend it. which these strikers against these artillery will actually be able to hold off pretty well, but not forever. But we got strikers from the other team coming in too, and that's pretty much going to end, but these SAM units will take these out. They'll make quick work of that. So, he's got one transport boat. I don't think he wants to send him across until he's got like 2 or 3. Maybe even more. He's going to do a full-on invasion. It definitely looks like HOnu is winning this fight at the minute, because the artillery is diminished on HOnu's side. And he's got a lot of SAM there, which is great for the air units that have been coming in, but I don't feel like HOnu needs any more air units. He just needs to keep his artillery pressure up, and his infantry. And it looks like HOnu is attacking from multiple angles. Now that we're seeing it from his point of view, we can see he's got a lot more units than HOnu can actually see. And he's got more units coming in from the south. So HOnu is going to be pretty much surrounded anytime soon. And he's going to struggle to push him back. But it won't be long. I think he's been detected over here with these submarines. So HOnu has spotted these transports and the... There you go, he's sent them across. Will HOnu react to that? Has HOnu noticed it? He's sent his subs there, yes. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold him off. Which means he has foited the plan here, maybe. Quite potentially. And HOnu is stuck over here. So we got the battle going on over there and over here. It's really hard to see 2 different points on the map. But submarines are pretty good against these, unless he's got destroyers. I mean, he's got a large enough force to see them. He does have a destroyer. 2 missile ships, and the cruisers will do the heavy damage to them. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to survive. But they're getting too close to the artillery. The artillery is going to start shooting as well. So I'm not sure this is a good idea. You might want to try and push in this way round, not close to this side of the shore, but that side of the shore. I know it's only a little thing, but it does make a difference here. He might have rushed into that a bit too quick. We'll come check on that in a sec. So, HOnu is now pushing against this area. Well, not being pushed back there. So it looks like HOnu is going to lose these structures. He's going to lose this fight up here. The strikers are doing a very good job at taking them out because HOnu still hasn't gone into SAM units. Or interceptors. Either one would have been great. But I think the lack of SAM here is what's kind of defeating himself. And he failed. He failed up here to take out that naval yard. And now he's going to go because that's it. He's lost his element of surprise. So he's just going to start trying to take him across. Does he have anything to stop them? Not really. He hasn't thought that they're going to come straight across either because he hasn't put anything there. I think he's really just trying to focus down here, trying to see what he can destroy, how far he can push HOnu back, and then maybe deal with it later. But that is not even going to build in time, so HOnu is going to cross, and he's going to land here soon. He's backing up with helicopters, thinking that HOnu might respond early. But HOnu really needs to pull something out of the bag to win this one soon. He's still expanding, to be fair, so he's still got a lot of territory to gain. I mean, he's forgotten about this unit, and he probably could... He's about to. He's going to grab this island soon, so he is still increasing his economy. He's not at his potential yet, and he is still holding back the forces of HOnu, and he is about to hit hard here, which I think HOnu spotted. Yeah, he's going to send a few units that way. I don't think it's enough. But I don't think he needs it to be. I think he just wants to distract up in the north long enough to hold out while he destroys what he believes to be HOnu's main base. But I don't think HOnu really needs to defend too much down here. I think if he lost it, just having these units flood in through here might be able to win him the game. But HOnu is really holding out the defense here. Or really taking out the defense here. He does have some SAM units around. He must have switched at some point. I don't know if he's got any more. He's sending more units in from the south. He's built a tank. He's got a tank unit structure. There you go. SAM being built now. See a fair amount of SAMs. And this is starting to take damage. He is slowly breaking HOnu in the main location. But HOnu is also breaking Romad here because he's got nothing to reinforce this with. When they're gone, they're gone. He has 2 production structures here. He's going to need to support this quite heavily with air units. And he set up these lines. Yeah, there you go. He's got a new one there. And HOnu didn't waste any time. As soon as he got the territory, he started building a production structure to help reinforce this area. Not just with the units that are coming in through here, but he wants more to be produced there so it can put more pressure on. But I do think HOnu is going to lose this airfield anytime soon. He needs to take them off the ground, but he can't because he's got no energy production. Well, he has, but he hasn't got any energy stored. So yeah, he's sending some units directly across. You can see a structure there, so we can try and take it out. He's probably hoping there's eco here that he can destroy. Hence why that one's an arrow command and this one's a flag command. Romad is not worried about energy. He's got enough energy supplied and he is using it with his tanks and his air force. I think if he's got any air force left. He does have some. He's gone for interceptors. Not a bad idea to take out those strikers because they are very good at taking out air units. Strikers can fight back though. They do have miniguns to take out air units, but they're just not as strong as the interceptors missiles. These units flowing in, those artillery are starting to build up into dangerous levels. And when they start getting to a certain mass, critical mass, they'll be unstoppable. Unless air units are nuke, but still, unstoppable. Does look like Romad has some eco here, so with his arrow command, the HOnu's arrow command that we saw earlier, going this way, he will actually be taking advantage of that. But he's also set up a flag command there, which is going to slow him down, but HOnu is trying to secure the ocean area so that his units can safely cross the water here. And he pretty much has done. Has anyone got any sea units left? There we go, Romad. Romad has quite a lot of submarines, which, to be fair, he probably should have put around this area earlier to build up some force. And so these units are coming across here. He's found some more of HOnu's army, which is just about being built. And HOnu is trying to take over this land here, but it looks like Romad has responded up here, and he doesn't have to worry about the air units. So he's sending SAM anyway, but he will have to worry about air units soon because he's building some. But HOnu doesn't have enough energy to supply it. Which means, to be fair, I'd stop production of this because he's already got rid of most of his forces, so I'd stop production of those transport ships and switch into something else. Or stop producing there entirely because he pretty much controls the ocean now. And I don't think HOnu is going to be able to hold this area for much longer. And I don't know if he's actually going to be able to push in here or either. I'm still on the edge of who's going to win this battle. I don't know, maybe he could try and transport some units this way. Not that there are many left, to be honest. But just a couple of units to distract Romad with. But these artillery are going to work, wow, because they are starting to take that curve. I like the concave curve, and it's going to take out that tank quite easily. I think the way Romad is sending these units in individually almost, like, just stop this line command here and let them build up somewhere. It's just letting these units die one at a time into this concave of death. It's allowing HOnu to build up his artillery instead of actually being able to take him out Which he was. He had a great momentum in doing so, but he's just letting his units die. I think it's because he's worried about up here, so his focus is up here. He's not realised this death wall of artillery. But I don't think Romad's going to have to worry too much about this. I think he's got that. That's a bit risky, HOnu. He's just put an airstrip there. Probably because it wasn't in range and he wanted the helicopters to support. Yeah, so he's got a helicopter flying in areas. He's got the interceptors coming in now to deal with those helicopters. Which I don't really think he needs. He's got enough SAM there to deal with them. It's not too much SAM, but I suppose he has the energy. He may as well use them, right? Just trying to defend this blob of artillery there. Whereas over here, these guys are still walking into a wall of death. They're not really breaking them. They're certainly not being cost effective doing this, because that unit didn't do any damage. This tank might do some. Yeah, it killed one and then died itself. I think these will win over here. They'll easily take out this line. I think you should spread these lines out, like thicker lines like these. But eventually he's going to run out of this, and he's going to be able to, like, HOnu's going to be able to push back over here in a minute. And up in the north, it looks like he stopped the reinforcements coming in. So HOnu has changed direction. He's going around, just barely revealing himself there. The missile firing off, shooting fireworks, saying, "Yay, we're winning." Helicopters are launching. Can Romad see that? Yeah, Romad could see it, because I was looking through Romad's eyes at first. So from HOnu's perspective, he's doing really badly up here. He's going to lose this section now. It was a great distraction, though. It took a lot of forces away to deal with it. And HOnu can only really be stopped if Romad sends units across to deal with this area. But I think Romad... I can't see in the mountains that because I'm not on HOnu's. So Romad has a good army here. But he lost his army down here, so now HOnu is able to push up through here, maybe taking these units out while they're shooting this. Kind of in a one at a time scenario. I think HOnu is going to be able to defend himself. And he probably has the eco to do it because he's still expanding. 35 minutes into the game and he's still finding more land to expand into. And now his units can push back. I don't know whether he's going to go straight up or whether he's going to just try and sneak through. Ultimately, that's his choice, but his landing has now been foited over here. Romad has successfully taken him out. Which means these forces are now going to come back down and push through here once again. But HOnu owns this one territory. Just randomly owns one territory within the middle of it all. Another way Romad could try and do a surprise on HOnu would be to do the exact same thing, but here. Got a lot of production here. If he built up just a few transport ships and sent them here, might be able to come back through the bottom and try and take him out. At the minute, he's kind of relying on brute force. And although it has been working most of the game, I think just a few different changes could have ended this game a lot earlier. I think he's leaving these units there just in case another wave of units come across. But he could try and send his submarines down, but his focus is obviously somewhere else. Down here, you can see his moving stuff. So he has built up units again to try and take out this artillery force. And he's going to bring these units round and spread the pressure out a bit. He's still got the submarines going up to the north. He has more units coming down now. He's cleared some of the lines over here, so maybe he plans to bring them down soon. And HOnu has some strikers over there. He has one striker over there. Which isn't doing too bad, but that one SAM unit was enough to take it away. Oh, he's got 2 strikers now. And Romad is using commandos, which are really annoying. I don't like commandos. They're great to use, but I hate it when they're being used on me. So the artillery is firing through the mountains. The mountains are really slow, so artillery is a great weapon to take across mountains. He's got Sam on the front line here, which probably isn't too bad against the infantry, because they actually have a gun turret there to shoot the infantry away, but now you need the artillery to shoot first. Those commandos were able to sneak up on those artillery a bit to reduce their damage. Is there anything else going on? His transports are taking over some of the territory at sea to try and increase his economy more. HOnu has 1,600 cash saved up. Let's check out their economy at this point, because HOnu's been expanding a lot, and he's also been pushed back a lot by Romad. So HOnu's economy is 1,400 per minute, and Romad's economy is 1,400 per minute. They are crazily evenly balanced. But HOnu hasn't actually... Has he? Yeah, he's fully expanded any second now. They pretty much have both reached their potential now. And it looks like Romad is taking a bit more time to push forward. But he's definitely beating HOnu in this area. And he's still pushing him back. These units are staying there. I think he's going to do the opposite. I think he's going to counter-invade HOnu. I think... What's HOnu doing over here? He's doing another invasion. I don't think Romad spotted it. No. Right there. So HOnu is hiding a force here until, I guess, until they all go over. But he isn't expecting to be invaded himself either. Kind of feel like this match is swaying on Romad's side. Purely because he's able to hold his ground, push back, and then repeat what was done to him. There you go, HOnu's pushing forward. He's probably going to take the sub-pen out quite easily. I want to know when Romad sees that. And there's an airfield hidden there, an airstrip. Which we couldn't see when we were looking through HOnu's eyes. I think since Romad went into interceptors, HOnu failed to respond to that because he's still producing SAM units, which he doesn't need to. He's got, in my opinion, he's got enough SAM units on the ground already to cover the ground that he needs to cover. So he needs to just focus on artillery to get rid of this ground force and to utilise his strikers really well. So right now, HOnu has been spotted and Romad responding really quickly. And to be fair, I don't think he's actually building transport ships. Definitely something I'd be trying to do right now. He's got a lot of units there doing nothing. I definitely want some transports. I do understand that he's trying to build some defence for those transports too. Because you can't just build transports on their own, they'd be defenceless. And yeah, those interceptors aren't that great at taking out these infantry, but they do some damage. But the SAM units are going to take those out. And down here we've got some sort of mini battles going on. Sort of blows to and fro every now and then. But no one's heavily committing to the assault. What is Romad doing up here now? He's building a transport. There you go. He is going to do what I thought he was. But he's struggling on energy too. Having an energy issue during an invasion would be a problem, so he does need to solve that. Strikers there from HOnu are being destroyed by the SAM units hidden there. Well, they're not really hidden, but they're there. There's some hidden here. But I do think the ground force by Romad is slowly diminishing quite a lot. He's still got reinforcements coming in. But HOnu isn't allowing him to build them up enough. He's taking them out little pieces, stragglers that are coming around. And to be fair, these SAM are quite exposed right now. There is a commando slowly sneaking his way to that artillery. HOnu did manage to take out the airstrip there. He's probably going to take this out soon. The submarines took out his transport ships. I think HOnu has built a large enough force now to fight back and take back his land here. He's got strikers backed up down here. And he's going for an airstrip here to extend their range by the looks of it. And he is pushing through with these artillery. He's noticed a bit of a exposed area, so he's trying to exploit that. Romad is trying to again use brute force here. He's sent some tanks backed up with artillery. And mostly this is SAM and infantry, so that might actually do quite well there. It looks like HOnu was foited here. He's got some units still there. Oh no, it wasn't. They're hidden in the forest. Didn't spot that. Okay, there was only two anyway. Yeah, I don't think HOnu's going to make much progress there. That sub-pen will survive. And despite HOnu actually having a navy fleet, he hasn't spotted anything going on up here. Which Romad has literally just left them there. And he's growing up he's sending them over now. He's growing his transport ships. Probably might want to build some more transports because they're going to take quite a long time getting there. And set up a defense line here. Well, not a defense line, you can't do that in the Navy, but you know what I mean. And down here it looks like no one can build up their forces large enough to defeat each other. They just keep on building up, destroying each other and building up. And HOnu's usually good at saving his money, so he's still got some. I don't think he's managing to save it anymore. He's going to struggle now because he's getting taken out there. He has spotted it. He's sending a striker there straight away. But he might have to stop this invasion over here. He's sent him to a new location again. He's really trying to find a weak point, trying to find anywhere he can do enough damage to hold the ground. And this is why I think that Romad didn't send enough units here at the same time. Because they're just going to get taken out by that striker. And it won't take many units to stop this. Despite having such a large force to send over, he probably could have done with 4 transports to send at a time. We got a little sub-battle here. And these forces are actually potentially going to turn the tide of war in this little area. So sending them there wasn't a bad idea. But these units aren't going to come across fast enough, I don't think. But it looks like he managed to destroy the... No, he didn't. It was stealthed. It got me. But he might be able to get that now, because that striker's not going to do enough damage. The SAM units went across first. So I think he can destroy the striker. Yep. So from the air, he's not having to worry about that. But there is artillery coming, but it's not much, because he hasn't got much left there. He's sent them all... Well, to be honest, everywhere. And Romad has had to split up his forces quite a lot in different places too. And it looks like he doesn't plan to underestimate the enemy. He wants to send this large force over here. And he probably might not even have to. Maybe he does, I don't know. Maybe HOnu can hold that top island. But I think HOnu might be able to push back down here now that he's sent some reinforcements here and here. He's definitely managed to save these structures here. And Romad has gone heavily into tanks, and he's definitely got the energy, prepared for the energy on this. The only problem is tanks don't really move fast on mountains and these terrains, so HOnu has an advantage of being able to get their extra damage on them within time. But the tanks might be in large enough numbers to take out this force here. in the north. The invasion's going well for Romad. Let's look at what HOnu sees. He doesn't see much, so he might not perceive that big of a threat. Because these are stealth area. He is still trying to produce strikers, try and get his air force back there. I might be hearing things, but I thought I heard a nuke. No, I think I'm hearing things. So, yeah, he is able to hold him off for now, but he doesn't know the force that's there. And those tanks are actually getting absolutely annihilated over here. He's pushing through this way, but the artillery's here, so the tanks aren't going to stop this damage input. And he keeps on flowing them in like water, and they keep on getting drained away. But I don't think that airfield's going to survive this. And I think HOnu might lose this island. He doesn't have... Let's have a look. Yeah, he doesn't have much else production there. He's got some energy. And there's production here. That's all he's really got. But on this island, it's only eco and energy. It's just storage for him. And over here, it looks like tanks changed their route, and they are going through the artillery. It looks like he's trying to take out the SAM units, so maybe he's got strikers coming in, or he might just be trying to sneak around. Yeah, he's just trying to sneak around and get to the production. He really wants to stop the production, but he is building up a large amount of cash himself, and if he reaches a large enough number, he might be able to start building a nuke. Or someone might. At this point in the game, a nuke would not be a surprise to me. When the choke point is like here, you could build a nuke here, or the enemy could build a nuke here. To be fair, HOnu can still build in this little location here. I don't think he notices that. I mean, it wouldn't be wise to do so, but it would be funny. Those strikers are tearing up those SAM units there now, and they will destroy these tanks quite fast. So I think HOnu has the advantage again in the central choke point, but he's losing the North Island. Slowly but surely. And he's not struggling with energy anymore, so he could be using his naval force to fight out other places. He maybe even might need to reinforce that island again. He's sending his units back from this area, the ones he used to expand with. He's sending them back into here, trying to build up a big enough force to push back and potentially defeat Romad on his main island. Even if HOnu loses this section, if Romad loses here, I knew I heard a nuke being built. That was a good shot. I didn't even know HOnu could see down there. But he didn't manage to destroy the city. But it won't be long. Well, he's in the negatives, but soon he might be able to build another nuke and fire again, either there or over here. Generally, I don't like going for production structures. Usually, I would like to use a nuke to hit actual units. So my location wouldn't have been there. It would have been somewhere near the front line, so I could defend or be offensive with it. Got a nice little battle front line going on here. He's got this concave here. This is going to do well for him when it comes to his units flooding in through here. But it'll be bad if he changes his line to this way, because then you're just hitting a point. But those strikers are probably not going to let anyone get there anyway, because they're putting pressure there, so... I think HOnu so far has done well. Maybe using these 3 landmasses, territory at the beginning, to cross from here to here was actually quite a good idea. I've seen it used with just one before, but I don't like wasting my infantry, because I like to have as much infantry at the beginning of the game to get more territory. But to have that island was quite needed for this map. His artillery is growing in large numbers. And he's definitely keeping enough SAM on the back lines that I don't think at this point is too much. I think he's got a very good amount of SAM versus artillery at this point. Romad is confusing his units with lines. They are circling because they keep on getting joined at the start, ending here. I think either way he needs to fix this, and these lines are just messy. Romad is a messy line placer, but he does try to fix it, and I mean everyone's been there where they make loads of messy lines. Whereas HOnu is making quite thick lines straight across. He's trying to present a very strong front line with this. And he has a hell of a lot of strikers right now. He's producing them here and he's sending them here to expand. He's building another rocket, so that will be used at some point. It is a good position for it because he can get to this area if he really needs to defend it. Or he can take out these like he tried earlier. That energy well is going to go down. HOnu is building up an accumulative force of artillery supported by strikers and defended by Sam. Unless Romad goes for a rocket himself, which I'm kind of hoping to see, HOnu is not going to have a trouble plowing through his base. Romad was pushing back really good at the beginning of this game, but HOnu was just able to hold out long enough to build up his economy to push back. And it looks like HOnu might actually be able to control this island once again. I don't know what's going on here. I would just double click them, delete and start again. And he's still focused on trying to take this island away. He's trying to reinforce it, but he's still got units here and here that could be pushing back against this massive armada of artillery, infantry, Sam. It's just a really well comprised army of Sam and RT Sam spam. I don't want to miss the other rocket. It's half built. The strikers are coming back in through there. He's got so many strikers right now. To be fair, he's got a lot of helicopters coming in and they are going to do a lot of damage, but the Sam here are being held just behind the front line that they are going to take out the helicopters before they can do too much damage. And the strikers here are being used to target the structures as well as protect the ground. So if he placed a strike command here, they would all attack the structure and then fly away when it's done, but because he's done that, they'll stay here to defend the land whilst destroying that as a target as well. Which is definitely not a bad idea. You definitely want your strikers to stick around when they can and only get rid of them when this starts happening. That rocket is nearly done. The north seems fine. No, I think Romad is managing to take that away. He's managed to defend his units up there by reinforcing it, but I think that's going to cost him too much at this point. HOnu is trying to send his units to the mountains because it's a better place to defend. So he's doing very well at keeping it. That rocket is done now. Don't know if HOnu's forgotten about it or if he's got a plan. No, he's going for it. He's firing probably over this way again. He's got strikers in range of there, so he might be able to do something with it. But that city might have repaired itself by now, so you don't think one rocket is enough to take out a city. Nope, that city still stands. You need 2 rockets to take out a city. Even if you got 1 rocket and hit it twice, it just repairs itself. But this force here on the ground is unchallenged. But I think Romad is going to take over this island. He's reinforced it again. And I think he's got enough units to defend it well. But HOnu is bringing his units down. He's trying to pincer them. Get to that other side while they're defending over here. And Romad's side is looking pretty scary right now. He's got enough energy, but it is going down pretty fast. So he's not having to worry too much about that, but his economy is drained. But to be fair, HOnu's is much more drained. HOnu is going to struggle to produce anything at this point. But that could be because of his rocket. So he's trying to produce a rocket if he hasn't actually... Have a look at it. So yeah, there you go. Because there's no rocket there, it's constantly trying to produce it. So it looks like it's in the negatives, but it's not. It's still growing until he reaches 500 credits. Or whatever you call it in this game. Capital. Yeah. Credits is Command and Conquer, sorry. So that's why that looks like it's in the negatives. There was a question I asked not too long ago. It was one of you guys that answered me, so thank you for explaining why it always looks like it's in the negatives. He's trying to build some more airfields by the looks of it, Romad. But at this point, it's a bit too late to build them here. It's too close to the army. They're going to get through... I think this one's fine. I think I was built before. But this one, it might get destroyed before it even produces anything. But Romad has such a large economy, but fed his units to the enemy one by one a lot of the time, and I think that's what killed his economy. And these lines might be a bit too messy because they're using up his energy by going in circles. I know it doesn't matter too much now, but they are still trying to move all the time. It's just kind of like a dance. Having a little dance around. But he is taking over up here. So you got to hand it to him. He has presented a very good match against HOnu, and it's still a bit undecided. I do think HOnu's definitely got a strong advantage as of now. That airfield might produce that one bomber. That's a strategic bomber, isn't it? No, that's a striker. But I don't think airfields are the right way to go. There's too many SAMs defending, and they're being used really well in this game. Should have a look at their economy, because they are trying to take economy from each other. HOnu has been winning, so I'm expecting HOnu's economy to be higher. But Romad's economy is 1,700 because he has been trying to gather these cities up for a big assault at this point in the game. So that was 1,700, wasn't it? Yes, 1,700. And HOnu's is 1,700 as well. Has HOnu been expanding with cities? No, he hasn't. So he's pretty much done this through land alone. Defending his own and taking from the enemy. So he managed to produce, I think, one striker from here, and he's stopped production now. I don't know, actually. It might just be because it's forest. Yeah. But he hasn't finished producing it yet. But I do think he'll get it out. Yep, there we go. And this salmon arty blob is just going to annihilate anything that comes towards it. But Romad is trying desperately to defend against it. And I am wondering, has HOnu gone for another rocket, or has he stopped production? I don't think he's stopped production, I just don't think he's managed to acquire enough yet for it. But he's going to start soon. Over here, he just doesn't have enough to defend. These guys are being fed in one at a time. Now HOnu's making that mistake, where they're just going to die at these artillery. There is a bit more naval battles going on because he does have this naval yard over here, but I think Romad controls the sea because he's been dancing in it for a while. You know, when you got control, that's what you do, isn't it? Have a little dance. That airfield did go down, and the other one went down as well. Those helicopters are still trying to get in there. These SAM are a bit behind, so these are actually going to do a decent amount of damage. That is a great place to try and get your helicopters into, but some of them are still going over here, which are being shot at by these SAM units. HOnu has noticed, and he is sending his units back in. Let's go back to HOnu. Has he spent money on that rocket? I like rockets, I'm sorry. He hasn't. I think he might have stopped production, because he probably went over it earlier. He's trying to get his strikers to get within reach. He's built another airstrip there, so now he will have that reach. Not that I think he needs it, because he is going to take over this match really fast now. I'm pretty sure this is HOnu's game. This was an amazing comeback win for HOnu, because I thought he was under so much pressure down here. His plan got foiled up here, and then he tried different locations, and it just wasn't working for him. And then all of a sudden, he was just able to push back against Romad. And those strikers are going to take out that city there. And he's got nothing to defend it with. And he's going to lose his energy over here as well. So let's have a look from Romad's perspective. Those artillery are going to easily destroy the SAM. And the striker there. Romad's trying to invest more into the navy. I guess he thinks he can't control the land. He's going to escape by sea. I don't think he's actually managed to take over this island up here. HOnu actually defended up here too. Though I say that, and he started producing that. They're dancing in the water again. I think Romad is just about to find out that HOnu had this island for the entire match as well. Which is probably just HOnu's expanse in this game is what saved him. The economy is what allowed Romad to be really good at trying to keep the pressure onto HOnu. But HOnu has taken this game. So it is about to end. I believe HOnu wins. Thank you very much for watching until the end. We have enjoyed watching all these ships dance around. And I think his energy is just going down, so that's what that is. And the end of match has been reached. So there are 2 videos on screen right now if you'd like to watch any more. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in one of those videos.